Abracadabra, extra vaccine.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance, protecting your business with specialized coverages for your commercial vehicles. More at progressivecommercial.com. And by GEP, helping transform supply chains with strategies, services, and software, including GEP Smart and GEP Next, AI-based digital procurement and supply chain platforms.
I'm David Brancaccio. There's still some sticking points in Washington negotiations on coronavirus relief. Fed Chair Jerome Powell tried to give lawmakers a rhetorical shove yesterday, saying the case for another COVID relief bill is, quote, very, very strong. Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer is here. What's the status?
Well, congressional leaders are working on a nearly $900 billion deal. It would include money for relief checks and an extra federal unemployment benefit. There would also be a second round of Paycheck Protection Program loans. The sticking points include money for transit systems, schools, and vaccine distribution.
And what did Mr. Powell say about the sort of stimulus only Congress can do?
Once again, Powell said Congress really has the best tools to deal with this crisis. He said there's a lag time with the Fed's tools, and he said there are millions of Americans who need aid from Congress, not loans from the Fed.
It's the 10 million people who lost their jobs. It's people who may lose their homes. You know, you see the many, many millions of Americans are waiting in food lines in their cars these days all over the country.
Okay, and Nance ever going to see a vote on pandemic relief?
Well, negotiators want to attach it to a spending bill, and that has to pass by tomorrow so the government doesn't run out of money and shut down. Congress could pass a continuing resolution that would keep the government going temporarily while they finish haggling over the COVID relief bill.
Thank you. More people signed up for unemployment benefits in the last week after fresh layoffs, up again at 885,000 people. Now, call it a serendipitous opportunity. Others might see a holiday miracle. And a player of Monopoly would see bank error in your favor. Pharmacists around the country are noticing when they open the pack of Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine that's supposed to be 5 doses per vial, they can sometimes squeeze out a 6th, maybe a 7th dose. The FDA looked at this yesterday and is saying go for it as long as these are full doses. This could mean millions more will get their shots earlier at a time when the first vaccine is in short supply. S&P and NASDAQ futures are each up 0.5% now. Think what this COVID economy would be like without the post office, UPS, and FedEx. The last one releases its summer into fall results today. In the summer, package shipped with FedEx by ground were up by a third. Marketplace's Justin Ho has that.
Delivery companies have had to expand to handle the boom in e-commerce during the pandemic. FedEx has been upgrading its existing facilities and building new ones. And even before COVID, it started making home deliveries 7 days a week. Satish Jindal is president of the consulting firm ShipMatrix.
They have been a great beneficiary of having that 7-day network in place.
Last quarter, the Commerce Department said e-commerce sales grew by 36% compared to the same time a year ago. But will that last? Brian Yarbrough was consumer research analyst at Edward Jones.
I think it would be an overly optimistic if you expect these growth rates to continue.
Even if growth slows, shipping companies will still have to scramble to meet demand, says Rob Martinez at Shipware.
That concept that the demand exceeds the capacity will continue into 2021.
Martinez says the big shipping companies usually compete with each other by offering discounts to retailers. But right now, he says that's not happening. I'm Justin Ho for Marketplace.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by McDermott, Will & Emery, an international law firm helping clients make real progress toward their goals by turning big ideas into actionable plans. McDermott strives to make the process as satisfying as the end result. MWE.com. And by Fidelity Investments, introducing Fidelity Income Planning, helping to build a plan for income that lasts. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
President-elect Joe Biden has said safely reopening schools will be a top priority in his first 100 days in office. Remote school has put enormous strain on students and parents, especially where breadwinners can't do their jobs from home. From the Workplace Culture Desk, Marketplace's Megan McCarty-Carino reports.
On a rare weekday off recently, Los Angeles mom Patricia Rebelis played teacher's aide to her 9-year-old daughter Isabella.
She did her class, she did her homework. Now she's reading a book.
Students in Los Angeles have been learning remotely since March. Most days, Isabella stays with her grandmother, while Reveles, a single mom, goes to work as a pharmacy technician.
I have to push my daughter. You have to learn to be on your own. You have to be dependent of yourself.
Reveles says her daughter is struggling. Her grades have slipped and she's constantly down on herself.
I feel at a point that I am failing as a parent, that if I do go to work, I'm not here as a parent full time and be a good parent.
Essential workers like Reveles are disproportionately women of color, often earning low wages and risking their health to work. They've been hailed as heroes, but as parents, they face impossible choices.
You know, I've had parents call me and say, if my child can't come to your e-learning center, I'm going to lose my job.
Betty West runs a network of nonprofit distance learning centers in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. In socially distanced small groups, they help kids with remote classes while parents are at work at a cost of $215 a week.
Our working families pretty much budget for before and after school care and summer programming. This was not in their budget.
With donations, the organization has been able to subsidize or completely cover the cost for many families, but such programs aren't always set up to help students who need intensive support.
No one knew what to do to help our kids, and that's heartbreaking.
Clara Washington's 9-year-old daughter, Jayla, has been diagnosed with autism and is partially nonverbal. Her Rochester, New York school district has been remote since March.
She did not understand why her classmates and teachers were on the computer. She didn't understand any of that.
Jayla needs one-on-one attention, but Washington is a single mom and works as an office manager for a surgery practice. She takes paid family leave 1 day a week and hires a babysitter for the rest, rushing home on her lunch break to check in on classes.
Basically, all my savings is gone due to childcare. And behind on bills, extremely behind on bills, but I have to do what I have to do for my daughter.
Rochester schools are set to begin reopening in January, but like pretty much all plans, they're at the mercy of the virus. I'm Megan McCarty-Carino for Marketplace.
Checking the Dow future here, it is up 98 points, 0.3% now. I'm David Brancaccio. This is the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.